Here's an Emerson AM/FM radio here, and here's a GE 409, the somewhat later version of the 408, and moving right along. Look at the turnout is really quite good, and can walk around. In fact, I'll just go up to the entrance where I should have started, but we'll go and say hello. And you can see we got Paul, who helps Paul Dumont. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Paul. You're on being videoed, whether you like it or not. So you get to our fearless duo, who has done a marvelous job of always.
I don't know about that. Yeah, just hanging around doing not much anything. But
well, you know.
So by your thumb there, by your left thumb, show your lenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so while they're the unsung heroes of getting these shows together and organized, so always a big thanks from all the club members.
As long as you're patient and let the brain kickstart.
That's all right. We're very lucky. Thank you for such a good event. I mean, the turnout is excellent.
It's been very good, yes.
It has been, yes.
Probably one of our better Septembers. We've always had a good event in September, but this one is particularly.
I think last year was bitterly cold and wet.
Yeah, one of those two were. Yeah, but this one.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, we've been smiled upon. Well, thank you very much. I'll move on, and we'll see you a little later.
You bet.
And here's the famous Nevic Brookline free table. And invariably there are all sorts of strange things that people will drop off. You name it, it's there. I've seen coffee pots, I've seen it all. And the only hope is that people who drop stuff off, if no one takes it, is that they take it back home. But it does draw a lot of people here. And in fact, I was impressed how many people were actually lurking about. Oh, we got Tom back. I did do that.
Okay.
You know.
Come on in and let's look at them.
Okay, so we got Tom back here to help guide me through his favorite unusual electronics here. So now we're in the inside of the building, where a lot of the good stuff for the vendors who are worried about the weather working against them. So, anyway, I have to admit, it's much easier doing this than the inside because I can see what I'm doing. Well, hello, Russ Tyne.
Hey, John, how are you?
All right, so I'm doing a little video of, I try to hit every vendor's table of interesting things they have for sale. So I just walk around and people get to see. Plus, you know, you get some free airtime. Shop at Ross. But no, we have some early speakers and rather nice looking. Now, is this what kind of radio is this?
Red Squirrels, that's what you're after, right?
Yeah, some nice radios here from Russ, and then got a wide variety of items to look at. And if you want test equipment, here you go. You've got the whole gamut. Very impressive items here. This is moving right along.
Beautiful multi-voltage power supply. Dual power supply, 0 to 50 volts and 0 to 3 amps. With current limiting, which is really handy when you don't want to burn things up.
And here we are at member Bruce Frederick's table. And Bruce, it looks like the Blaupunkt has found a home. Look at that. Very good. Well, then it must have some good memories from yore for him.
No idea. Very interesting. Either that or living room Halifax. Finally opted for the
Well, that's good news, considering the fact you've been struggling to sell it, and even though it's a very nice radio, and it will have gone to a good home. Excellent. Now look at all these interesting radios in this table here. Look at this.
John's coming through and making a video for the.
Right. I hope you don't mind. You're on candid camera. That's right. We'll play a trick on you, and we'll see your reaction. Now what kind of radio is this?
This one,
Yeah.
it's a Catalan. It's the largest one they made, and it's called Boat 66. They flew around with the boat.
Now who's the manufacturer?
Who's the manufacturer?
Oh, it's an RCA. Oh, that's just beautiful. That is just absolutely lovely. That looks like it walked out of the factory. Oh, look at these Edison phonographs. Wow. With some of the recorded material. Look at these speakers. Just absolutely pristine. I mean, just marvelous pieces of early electronics. Record player. The radio. The Ohio Talkaphone. And we have the Fisher amplifier. Now look at this. This will pique the interest. Look at all the woodwork on this stuff.
It's known as Carolyn.
It's absolutely beautiful.
How much is it?
$450.
And then look at this French Excelsior. Just absolutely. There was a Russian knockoff, but this is the real deal. I mean, just look at the artwork on this. I mean, it must be just fun just seeing this lit up. It's got a tuning eye, the whole 9 yards. It's about as nice as you'll find. And finally, another phonograph. And moving right along here, we've got more test equipment, and this is Paul Rochelot's table. Got a nice little Westinghouse portable, and got this RCA, and some more another portable. This nice little, maybe an RCA with the Telecom, and that's Paul, and there's Howard. And moving right along here, we have all sorts of hi-fi systems available for those who might be interested, and we have CDs, and here we go with this nice. Look at this system. That was pretty impressive. And of course, you got portable radios. You have this interesting Motorola FM radio. And here's another Zenith TO. Moving right along. You got a whole variety of vintage radios, mostly a lot of portable stuff. Here's a nice car radio. This is kind of interesting. I would say this is probably from the early 50s, just judging by the design. And this hot pink Admiral AM/FM radio. And looking on ahead, what do we got here? Got all sorts of bargains. This table, $2 to $20. So we have a lot of. Well, you have a cassette deck and portable radio. There's a Westinghouse AM/FM radio. I forgot the model number on this. And another AM/FM radio. This is a DeWalt. General Electric. $25, quite restorable. And we have all sorts of, we have these interesting radio advertisements. This is really quite fun. Look at all this. Various books, more advertisements, antique radio books. Sparks, you're on video. Yeah, and you have former President Bruce Phillips. Sparks, I thought it'd be just fine you camped out at the free table because that's all I ever see you at.
That's okay.
All good.
But I hope everyone's having a great time.
We are. Hope you are too, John.
I absolutely am. Here's Bruce Phillips. Always has some interesting items here. Moving right along. Oh, where it's Tom Scarpelli's table here. If you were looking for tubes, Tom's your guy. You know, reasonably priced and always assured to be working. And Tom's one of he's our member secretary. I should say for membership. I should say. I believe I got that right. And Tom also restores radios. In fact, he does it as a service. So if you're ever looking for your radio to be repaired, here's our man Tom Scarpelli. I was just giving a little description of your availability as a tube man and also radio repair in case you need your radio repaired. And seeing some of the items he has for sale. We have the Zenith here. We've got actually another Zenith. All very nice looking radios. And in fact, just to prove, here's Tom's card in case you're looking at it. If you ever need to contact him to have your radio repaired. And moving right along. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, folks, for the video. It's one of these first time I'm doing this with my Fire tablet, so invariably it will get better over time. Or vintage solid state and some tube amplifiers. Tube tester. And moving right along. We got Joe Coco's table, and Joe, if you're looking for parts to restore your radio, Joe is your man. They'll look no further than WJOE.com, and Joe's got, here's a good example of the things he sells. He's got dial lamps, he's got LEDs, capacitors. It's Joe Coco. I just was doing a little plug for you guys that you have to look no further than WJOE.com for your vintage radio parts. We have dial lights, and you've got cords, you've got LEDs, you've got capacitors, resistors, you name it. Joe's the guy to go to. He knows a lot too on top of it. Yeah, that's right. You can only charge for the answer, right? But that's right. The answers are not. But Joe's been around forever, and of course, you know, we rely on him a lot for all the restoration parts for our radios. And finally, Joe also maintains our website. Here's another nice TO. And moving right along, we've got some various vintage, interesting little unique pieces here.
They're reasonably low loss. This is
Vintage TV.
That's very low loss.
And
This is pretty good.
there's a nice
It doesn't stack
RCA.
up. It's a holy grail of wire at $125 a coil.
Look at all these homebrew crystal sets. All sorts of stuff.
There used to be two American manufacturers. I don't think they're. I think one of them's out of business.
Wonderful crystal sets here. Maybe he'll tell you about them a little bit.
But
Catching some background too.
I'm sure you probably know. Building widths is smart.
Video. Could you tell us a little bit about the crystal sets?
Certainly.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
No problem. Yeah, very interesting.
Most of them I built myself. That's just a tapped inductor crystal set there. That's a broadcast transmitter. This is also a variable inductor slider. That's the Radio Shack kit.
That looks like a Morgan special, right?
That wasn't. It's. I don't like the Morgan. The Morgan schematic is actually. I varied. There are some problems with Morgan schematic, so I tried to mimic the Morgan.
Yeah.
What I went with the Radio Arc
Yes.
schematic. The Radio Arc schematic made a lot more sense.
Exactly.
So this is a rebuild. This is a work in progress.
Is this a loose coupler?
This is going to eventually be a regenerative.
Okay.
I use some brass variable capacitor sections as joining plates. It's not complete, but I figured it was close enough to show.
They're trying to keep the losses to a minimum here, right?
Yeah.
John, take a look at this.
Yeah, it's a mouse trap.
The mousetrap.
That is really neat. How fun. Making out of stuff that you just happen to have lying around the house.
These various detectors that some of which I built from scratch, some of them are Fillmore's.
Yep.
The spy pen radio from the comic books,
Jeez. Yeah.
affixed to a board. I had a couple extra terminals. This is
Foxhole.
Foxhole radio,
Yeah.
which I only used a knife, a candle, and a rock to construct. I didn't use any conventional tools.
Yep.
And it's actually doped with Wrigley Spearmint gum, which would have been in their sea ration kit.
That's funny.
That's
What's going on with these little
These
taps?
are inductance taps to vary resonant frequency.
Oh, so these are taps to the main coil?
These taps to the main coil that go underneath and they're all
Oh, yeah.
spliced on underneath.
that's
This is a
all
very
right.
difficult receiver to get operational
Yeah, I bet.
because the
Yeah.
blue blade
Yep.
when poked with the safety pin really doesn't work that well. It works a lot better with a graphite pencil.
Oh, yeah.
And it also takes a very strong signal to boost the thing into operation.
Sure.
And it just also likes to jump out on its own. When you're listening in the middle of something, all of a sudden it just pops out for no reason.
Can you get a close-up of the detector?
Yeah,
Or
let me-
did you already? The blue blade detector. And, oh, beautiful. You're going to get a good close-up of that. And that's really, say it again, it's hard to get it to work.
It's a very finicky receiver to get operational. I have had it working. It was built more for fun than really, I was in the military for 8 years, so I had to build a Foxhole radio, right?
how interesting.
That's great.
And then a couple of basket weaves that I put together as well, and then the spoof on the Quaker Oats has to be the Quacker Oats.
I love it.
And this is actually from, if you guys might remember the Wacky Package product.
Oh, sure.
With the bubble gum.
Absolutely.
Well, this was the
Oh,
Quacker Oats. And what I did was
I
I took they have a website with all the different Wacky
Yeah.
Packs, and I took a print.
And you enlarged it.
And I enlarged it and put it used it for that.
I remember this. That's funny. It just because I love those. I collected them as a kid. They're long gone, but
Right. I built 3 receivers with this type of styling.
Love
It's
it.
the only one that's left. Then there's the infamous mousetrap, of course, and this is the outboard variable capacitor that goes with that. This is a compound action detector that I built with a little
oh yeah,
to lower raise.
impressive.
It needs a little work. 2 transistor voice radio driving the Part 15 stations here. This is a tap receiver that I bought.
Is this an authentic speaker?
No, that's an 8 ohm driver. It works quite well,
Yeah.
but it's not high teens like it should be.
So this is active right now?
It's active
Right up your alley here, Bill. Hello, Bill.
How many stations?
Bill. One of our longtime members, Bill Holly. This is one of our long-term members, Bill Holly. You're on video, so it'll be on YouTube. So you'll have to keep your language down to a minimum here.
Even on this one,
It's a mousetrap, Bill.
no on them is sharp. Their activity
Mousetrap
aiming
radio.
is not that sharp on aim. You have to probably swing 25 or 30 degrees before you start to notice the drop.
Made from a field
So
glass.
it's actually the edge where all the action is, and the front is
So
Might as well end
Yeah.
up with the guy at the end there.
Yeah. And I think they'll wrap it up anyway. That's plenty of more. I'm at an hour and 20.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good stuff here. Oh, we have, look at the size of that speaker. Holy smokes. All right.
Father's old hi-fi, took him out of the cabinet.
Took them out of where?
Took him out of the big speaker phone. 5-pound magnet.
You don't have to go to the gym for that one.
You got two?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
In a movie?
I'm actually, yeah, you, whether or not you're an unwitting actor on here. Yeah, there you go. Bill, how about coming and telling us about your boat, your radio operated boat?
Take that out so you can hear me. That's what it looks like together.
Beautiful.
So, the transmitter and the receiver. Earliest date I can find for them, 1958. My father built this in 1960. So the transmitter, vacuum tubes, 2 batteries, one for the B+, one for the filament. Citizen band radio, 1 channel. So you send 8 tones over the audio channel. The receiver has what's called a reed relay. So each one of those reeds responds to a frequency. I remember my father putting on his Bush crystal headphones, plugging into the boat here. Dual function. You hear the tone, adjust the tone as needed to fire the correct relay. The reed relay here drives these open frame relays to do the actual functions. So variable speed. There are 2 lead acid batteries to drive these motors. This is the speed control. So you can see it's a motor with a gearbox and limit switches driving this rheostat to limit the voltage to the motors. So full variable forward speed. This is reverse. 1-speed reverse. You set the rheostat here for whatever speed you want for the reverse gear. Servos, 4 D-size dry cells. 1 servo is for live left-right. The other servo allowed him to do a trim, so he could set it to an angle and let it hold there. So if you were like going against the current or wind.
Wow, how beautiful. And how certainly unique and rare.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think about my father coming home with a box of balsa wood and this manual, and opening up to the first page of the manual. And here you go. Layout,
Wow.
the keel, and the rib.
Wow.
Go from there.
Wow, what a beautiful job.
I mean, you look at how the bow is done. Those are individual strips of plywood, of balsa wood,
Yeah, wow.
bent and shaped.
Absolutely beautifully done. I mean, this is a keeper. This is one of those fun things you rarely see. Thank you, Bill. That was awesome. Well, everybody.
That pretty much winds up the show, doesn't it, John? We've walked around through the whole thing. Let me hold that a minute and get a picture of you.
Okay.
While you're, and you can sort of give the final, excuse me.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, I hope you had a great show. This was our September 24th, 2022 show. Was about as good as you could hope for. Huge range of rare and unusual electronics. And on top of it, we had a great show, great weather, great turnout, and I hope that all the vendors do well on this one. And well, I'm looking forward to doing this again for the March event in New Hampshire for our big show, and then of course the following Brookline will be in May, so it'll be coming around the corner. Thanks, everybody. We'll
Thank you,
see
John.
soon.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is Bruce Phillips, the ex-president.